PowerPoint presentation now. I'd like to call Ingrid. There, she's all ready to go. Perfect. There you
Hi.
go.
Well, good morning, everyone. First of all, I just want to leave a message to the Brazilian team here.
Thank you.
Eu vou fazer a minha apresentação em inglês, mas se ficar qualquer dúvida, por favor, tem o meu calendário lá e no final da minha apresentação, vocês podem marcar uma reunião de 30 minutos comigo, que daí eu consigo apresentar para vocês. So what I just said, I will do that presentation in English, but if there's any questions or anything that someone doesn't understand, there's a calendar link in the end of my presentation that anyone can contact me.
And Ingrid, could you do me a favor and let the Brazilian, from what I understand, most of our Brazilian members understand English. However, could you warmly welcome them and say we're so excited that they're part of this meeting?
Of course.
Thank you.
A Heather também pediu para eu avisar vocês, dizer que ela está muito feliz de vocês estarem aqui participando dessa reunião. There we go.
Thank you, Ingrid. Okay, over to you.
Okay, so my company is SAFETYDOCS Global, and we are in the Brazilian and now in the Canadian market as well. So I'm going to explain a little bit of what we do. But first of all, I would like to introduce me and my CFO. So I'm Ingrid Polini, and this is Shirley. If you have your phone there, you can just get the QR code for both of our LinkedIns, and I'm going to explain a little bit of our experiences later. But basically, I've been in this industry and in the tech industry for around 7 years. And I've been a CEO for SAFETYDOCS for around 5 years at this point. Just the headaches for document management for many industries to stop paying so many high fees due to loss of expiration dates. So what does that mean? So if you look, this is a platform that anyone can get in. It's called BizPol from the Canadian government. And you can see based on the location and what the industry that the company is in, how many documents they have to manage and take care of. That includes expiring documents and documents that are not expired. So what our platform does, if you think about it, let's just use as an example Brookfield here, right? So if you get Brookfield Canada, they have around 1,300 managed properties, which would have 40 documents per location at least, which leave them with more than 52,000 documents to manage and renew. And a lot of those documents, again, they expire and they get fines if they don't get them managed beforehand. So the problems that we are tackling with our software is basically the low productivity to manage a lot of documents and share information between departments and collaborations and collaborators, the loss of information with personal replacement, the risk control, so like permits not being renewed in time, fines. So if they don't have a business permit or a construction permit, all of that can impact their project hugely, not just by the fines. It's very hard to estimate the future costs and renewals, and there's no view from the process from start to end. Graphs, searches, and information is very hard to find. So our solution comes with 4 pillars, which we consider risk management, cost reduction, security, and assertive management. So what we do, and I'll show you a couple screens of our solution to make that more clear, but what we do is basically giving a 360 view of all the process of document management and giving graphs and all reports in order for it to be a more assertive position. So the companies can actually take care of what they really want to take care of, which is mining and not really the documents that they have to manage in order to get that operation going. So basically, this is one of our solutions. It's called SAFETYDOCS Permits. That takes care of the permits specifically. We have been more than 5 years in the market. So we have a lot of different reports, a lot of different percentages. We have risk control, goal control, status, evolution, and whatnot. And we have other reports that replace Excel spreadsheets, for example. So we did a report that imitates, if you look on the left side of my presentation, imitates exactly the kind of spreadsheet that they would use for the documents, because some people still, because of it's an older generation that still uses this kind of document control. They feel better when they have something that looks similar to the thing that they had in the past. So like, oh, okay, I am going to use this dashboard, but if I have to present to my COO, I'm just going to get the matrix and the thing that looks like an Excel spreadsheet and just show that to him. But all of those reports, as soon as some information changes on the software, it changes right away on the report. So everything gets connected together. So there's a couple more screens from our solution. And then basically just talking about our market a little bit. we are basically the software, the cloud services as solutions is on the top 5 IT areas, Canada CIOs, and increasing speed since 2019. And we are located there with enterprise software that has, of course, this forecasts were a little bit off because of COVID and no one was expecting that. But just to have an idea how big our market is. So we have a couple competitors here in the Canadian market, just worth mentioning because some of you might know them. Just to let you know that our solution is tailored for permits, and therefore it's a little bit different from the softwares that are in the market right now, and they usually don't have a prominent for document management. If they do, is a side project and not a main software that takes care of document management, and don't really have reports, and that's our differential in that case. So we have a plura of a couple of our clients here. That a couple of them are in the Canadian market as well, a couple of them just in the Latin American market, and that's it. And then we have our revenue model, which is basically 4 different kinds of revenue that depends on the numbers of users that we have and how much storage the client will use. And here's a link to my calendar if anyone wants to schedule a meeting with me.
Thank you, Ingrid. That was awesome. And so I have a couple questions for you. Just to set context. So again, if we think about our other members and their relationships, who would you ideally want to speak with in a mining organ? Do you go into IT, or is it an operational, or is it, you tell us who your ideal contacts are initially to have intro conversations?
Yeah, I will usually speak either with COOs or management positions in operations, especially of documentation operations, or it depends on the company where they locate the documents, but sometimes the legal department or the ops department, really, like if they're taking care of the documents in there. There would be, sometimes IT comes to find us when operations identify that issue. The problem is that we are usually educating our customers because they don't really know that this solution exists on the market. So we have to usually show them that it exists in order for them to be like, oh, okay, I need this.
Right. So you have to be proactive, like all of us when we're introducing something new. Fair enough. I just wanted to get a sense of who you wanted to start those initial conversations with. And then is it your, do you believe in mining, as you mentioned, probably, or there's a high likelihood that many companies are using Excel versus a formalized software platform for this?
What we have seen a lot is that they use Excel spreadsheet and then they save the documents on the cloud in a platform, just like SAP platform or SharePoint or something like that. Yeah. Which is not optimal, but that's the core of like what the industry has been using for so far.
And I would imagine that your software has prompts and like is proactive. It helps them really manage. It's not just a repository for all the documents.
No, they can add the expiration dates, and also, so for example, they can set how many days before they would like to be noticed that this document is about to expire. There's tasks that can be done all over the software. So let's say they lose personnel. They can have all the history of what's happening with that document in which state it is. So it's a very it's a platform that really helps them manage those documents, not just a repository. Yeah.
Right. So I would think, or I'm just curious, let's say, do you have, when you're doing your pitch, for example, do you have some case studies or just like information around what happens when they miss date? What happens? What is the impact if they don't have a proactive management solution that can help them with this? And I'm not necessarily looking for the answer, but just thinking I can imagine all the ESG type of documents that the mining companies. So I'm just curious if any of our members have heard, or, what happens if a document isn't done? Has there been an experience where documents aren't filed properly and there's been a repercussions around that? And then again, thinking probably ESG, like the sustainability VP, could be a good contact for you to
Yeah, yeah. It will usually mean, it depends on what kind of document, and we do
Mhm.
the importance scale on the software too,
That's
because there
cool.
are there are documents that, for example, if the government goes there and they don't have them, it might like shut down the whole operation.
Right.
Right? As well as there are documents that they're just going to get a small fine and it would be okay. It really depends on what's the importance of the document that they're missing, but it can cause catastrophic issues for the company for sure.
Right. So you have built-in prioritization or ranking or
Yeah.
level of priority. That's cool. Does anyone else have any questions for Ingrid, or have come across situations when you've heard that your clients have challenges managing all their documents or permits, etc.? Any context?
I actually got a message. I got a question here on as a direct message, so I'm just going to read it out
Cool.
loud.
Cool.
Can this software be expanded to environmental permits, documents, and managements?
Mhm.
Yes, we have a lot of environmental companies that use our software already. We can definitely work with that, and it's very, it works very well. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. And I'm wondering, so excellent question. Whoever had that question, thank you for that. And then I'm curious, would you be open to, or how are you going after, because obviously we want to get some good logos for you in mining, right? You want your first mining client in Canada. And I'm just wondering along that, would you be willing to offer them some form of piloting?
Yes. Yeah. We usually work with piloting for a couple months so they can
Yeah.
send the platform and see how it works for free. And then we can schedule to actually build a contract and whatnot.
Okay, well, I think that would be very interesting for you to put together, just brief, but like the pilot
Okay.
opportunity.
Awesome.
Yeah, because our clients are looking, okay, we're about innovation. So what innovative opportunities do we have? And so I'm very keen to present and be proactive around, here's a pilot. Here, consider this.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions on your screen?
No.
I have one question.
Cool. Cool, Raquel, over to you.
Yeah, Ingrid, I know that you have been doing a lot of research here with customers' interviews and looking for differences related to the Brazilian market and the Canadian market, but you also have international clients. Related to that, do you think that your experience with your international clients already in Brazil, do they have the same pains, the same situations that you have been searching here in Canada?
It's a little bit different in the sense that the Brazilian market, especially for permits, is very bureaucratic. So if anyone here works in Brazil, you know, like we have a high rate of bureaucracy in general, which Canada is a little bit more simple. That doesn't mean they don't have the same level of documentation, but here is way more about quantity and taking care of the quantity in order for it to not expire.
Yeah.
While in Brazil, I see the pain being more like they have to do the whole process of getting the document not like regular before getting the document regular. So the pain is a little bit different, but it hits the same points.
There's also a question I see here, Ingrid, in what languages is your platform available in?
Of course, it's available in English and Portuguese, and we are working on the French version right now.
And when will Russian be available?
Russian depends on the demand. If there's demand, we'll translate it. With the software, we can hit a button and help it to translate it for us. So
Okay, Marie Helen's asking for Spanish. Good question.
yeah, we don't have it at the moment, but depending on the demand, we can create it fairly fast. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. Let's get you a pilot.
Thank you.
Put that executive brief together for me, and I would definitely like to at least get it out to a couple of our sponsors today. Like, I don't mean I don't need to get it out today. I just mean current, our current sponsors.
Awesome.
Great.